Hello everyone, Carmen Calabrese here, running for the Senate in here, the great state of Maine. Behind me you see the lovely Atlantic Ocean. Last night I had my first town hall, which went really well. I was real happy with it. One of the interesting questions that they asked last night was about energy. What do I think about solar and wind power, and what we're going to do about that? And one thing I wanted to say was, they had mentioned that we want to do offshore wind farms. Why do you want to block a beautiful view like this with windows? It makes no sense. Look at what happened down in off of Nantucket last summer when one of the windmills fell apart because we haven't been able to really do research on how these turbines are going to fare in salt water. And yet we put them out there anyway. I think the Trump administration has done a good job in really putting a moratorium on offshore wind farms. If you want, which I think is a great idea, right? Until it's proven, let's keep them out of the water. If you want to put them on land, I understand that. I mean, today it's very windy. I'm sure you can hear that. And there are lots of places around the country where they are very efficient. And you look out. One problem with that is you look at what happened in Texas over the winter when they really rely on wind power. And what happened was it got so cold that these turbines are freezing, and now everyone doesn't have power. And now you need a backup source of generating power. Here in Maine, Janet Mills, who is our governor, she has really pushed for the green energy she wants to put windmills everywhere. She wants to put solar panels everywhere. And here in the state of Maine, I don't think that really works that well. So when we get into, when I get into the Senate, what I'd like to do is really research and get into nuclear power. I think nuclear power being the cleanest form of energy generation, one of the cleanest forms of energy generation, is where we really need to go. We need small nuclear power plants because as we get into AI and ASI and AGI and then ASI, we're going to need a lot of power. And these small nuclear power plants can really be set up beside these server farms that are going to be the next generation in AI, and we'll see where that goes. An interesting thing about windmills, I wish, and I believe there's a company, I think they're in Indiana or Illinois, that's now beginning to recycle the blades, because the blades only have about a 20-year life. And so you've got to start figuring out how we're going to be able to use them so they don't just we don't just stick them in the ground, because they're not going to degrade at all because of the products that they're made. So we've got that going on. So like I said, it was an interesting question about energy and where we're going to get our energy from. Like I said, I think that nuclear is one of the great things that we haven't really gotten into, and I think we really should. And as we go into the future, if you want to put solar panels on that, go ahead, do that. I mean, that's a great way to save on your energy bills and things like that. And then you can, at times push energy back into the grid, which is really kind of a cool idea. So that's a little bit about energy and how I feel about energy. And as we go into the future, you'll see more of my thoughts. And I'm glad you're seeing my videos. And if you want to see more of my videos, you can go to my YouTube channel. It's Carmen Calabrese on YouTube. Please go to my website. It's Carmen4Senate.com, and donate to my campaign. That would be fantastic. And that's it. I hope you enjoy the meeting. Have a great day.